Happy Thursday, everybody. It's your boy Nuke out in Las Vegas, and today what I want to talk to you about is an interesting subject. You know, every time I come across something, I like to bring it to you so you kind of understand how the entire process goes and make you better at the processes of buying or selling a home. So let's begin with. Now, anybody who's been watching my videos over time, I've talked about one thing. No matter what you do, you get a home inspection. So if you look, a lot of people are waiving home inspections right now because they're trying to do anything to get a leg up on the competition. Well, I have no issues with that. Like I told you the week before last, I put in an offer and we waived the inspection. Now, just because you waive the inspection does not mean you cannot do an inspection. Now, this is the one where we went and we actually had an inspector go with us, because remember the house where I said the inspector came down from the roof and it was like, mission control, we have a problem. Well, there was a problem with the roof. And before we get too deep into that, well, we still had the inspector, paid for their time, had another house we could possibly go look at. It's like, hey, you mind showing up with us and I'm going through the house. Well, inspector went through the house and gave the good old thumbs up. And it's like, okay, so we put in an offer and took it as is. Now, guess what? Even though we had the inspector go through the house during our time there, and he spent like 45 minutes going over stuff, other than going on the roof and stuff like that, just visible stuff. And if you ever seen an inspection, you can like stick the little plugs in to make sure the receptacles work and all that stuff. Other than that, you know, we had a lot done, but we still had a full inspection done. And it's like I put in there, it's like, hey, we're doing this for insurance purposes. Well, here's a little thing that no one is ever going to tell you. Now, I did say insurance, but I really meant was warranty. If you're going to get a home warranty, which I highly recommend for multiple reasons, they will not tell you that if you file a claim and they're trying to get out of it, which many of them will try to get out of it. Now, I got some warranty companies. If you want to ask the question, just ask. I know that they actually like cover stuff, because a lot of major ones, the reason they make money is because they deny claims. One of the ones I work with has never denied a claim, so that's a good thing. But what they don't tell you is, let's say your air conditioner goes out. I don't know if you knew this. It gets to 115 degrees here in Las Vegas, which means you need an air conditioner. So the thing that they don't tell you is they may, at their discretion, ask for 3 years of maintenance records. Most people don't know they're supposed to actually do maintenance on their HVAC systems every summer, every winter. Matter of fact, I got to remember, because I got to get mine done before it gets too hot, because when it gets too hot, they actually won't come out and do it. If you don't have those maintenance records, guess what? You're out of luck. So, well, how do I have 3 years of maintenance records if I bought a house? Simple. Your inspection starts your record all over again, which means if you lived in the house for a year, 6 months, whatever, AC goes out, heater goes out, and you have an insurance company that's going to try to play the I don't want to pay for this card, they're going to go like, I need 3 years of records. And you go, I bought this house on X date. Here's my home inspection. As long as it said it worked on that, they have nothing else to go on. AKA, you're free and clear. So no matter what, always get a home inspection. Here's the next part. And I've noticed this over and over again, and it's the funniest thing. And I don't mean funny ha-ha. A lot of houses that fall out, or the biggest contention that happens, is over one thing: the home inspection. It doesn't matter what happened on the buyer side or the seller side, something almost always comes up with the home inspection. So it doesn't matter how little the buyer asks for, the seller goes nuts half the time. No matter how much it took for the buyer to find a house, they could have put in 30 offers, 40 offers. I've heard of people putting in 50 offers. They finally get a house. They get an inspection back and it's like, I want all this stuff fixed. And then they are surprised when something bad happens to them. It's surprising on both sides. And yet, all of these things can be so simply fixed. Remember, you're selling an asset in this day and age that is probably 2 times what you paid for it. You're walking away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your net worth has increased, and you go nuts over $300 of repairs, $500 of repairs. On the buyer's side, you've put in 50 offers. How many houses did you see to put in those 50 offers? Probably 5 before you put in offers. So you saw 250 houses. During the time all of this happened, housing went up. You know, now interest rates have gone up. So now you finally get into a house and you're going like, well, I want a perfect house. I want them to deliver me a perfect house. You may want that. I'm just saying, don't blow it up for $500. When you look at that repair report, only do the things that involve health and safety and, of course, plumbing, if there's water anywhere. Those are the things you ask for. No reasonable person is going to go like, oh, there's a leak that's just leaking right there that I didn't know about. Most reasonable people are going to fix that. If it's a health concern like mold, most people are going to fix that. If the roof is about to cave in, most, I'll get into that, will fix that. Remember the young house I was just talking about? Well, it was a roof issue and the seller was going to fix it. Now, because of the other issues with the house, it was like, yeah, it's a hanky feeling, so we moved on. But they were going to fix it. I've seen it on other occasions where I put in for stuff like that, and they went like, even though you didn't ask for this item, we're going to fix it anyway out of goodwill because it's kind of a safety item. I've actually seen that. So, health, safety, water. That's it. All this cosmetic stuff, that's not that. You look at a good chance of blowing the house that you finally have in this difficult market. So here's another thing for the sellers. I don't even recommend you fix any of it. Why? Because what happens if the house falls out for some reason? I had one, it was about a little over a year and a half ago. We did the inspection, put in for some things. I was really expecting the person just, give some money out. No, they did. They fixed it, fixed all of it. And then a week prior, my client's loan was denied. Now, what happens if the next person that come along and didn't want any of that stuff fixed? Oh, yeah, it's fixed now. But guess what? You're out of that time and that money. So I recommend, even with the health and safety stuff, that you not fix it. You find out how much it is to get that stuff fixed and offer that money. And buyers, if it costs $2,000 to fix something and they offer you $2,000, take it. Don't be like one. I represented the seller on this one a couple of months back, and they sent the list of stuff they wanted repaired. I didn't just, pull numbers out, but I actually went and researched every one of the items of how much it would cost to repair them. Went to my seller, was like, why get this stuff fixed? All from the money. It came to about $2,000. My seller was like, you know what? I'm being generous today. I'll give them $2,500. It's going to cost $2,000. I ran all the numbers. We're going to give them $2,500 because it's like, hey, I don't have to do this crap. I'm happy with the money I'm getting. Let's just move on. Sellers are real cool about it. The buyers come back and they wanted $5,000. When I asked the buyer's agent, why do they want $5,000? I went through every one of them and it came to $2,000. Their response was, that's what they want. They had to fight like crazy to get this house. I had so many offers it wasn't even funny. I had people begging afterwards for this house. It's like, can we get out of this? I really want this house. And they were going to blow it up over this. Now, my sellers, they were a lot nicer than I ever would have been. They gave him $3,500 to just go away, which they did. And then he gets into another really strange one with the agent, because there was a crack in the family room floor in the tile. Now, when I came to this house, the first thing I did within 30 seconds is like, can you tell me about this crack? The buyer's agent on the inspection, 3 days out, walkthrough, said, there's a crack in the floor. I'm like, yeah, that crack's been there for over 10 years. She's like, no, it wasn't here. And then she claimed that she had proof and sent some 360 photos that were fuzzy that you couldn't see. And then it's like, yeah, see, there's no cracks. It's like, you can't see if there's a crack in this damn picture. Yes, I said damn picture. And it was like a 360. If you see them, they're fuzzy, kind of. Some folks. So do I blow everything up over something, talking about there was a crack in the floor that's been there for 10 years. And that could have been easily proven. You know what the stupidest part was? She comes back and she goes, well, do you have proof that there was a crack there? There was a crack there. They have friends. We could bring 1,000 friends in to say that crack has always been there, which it had. Makes it stranger. She then goes, it's a material fact. You should have disclosed it. The material facts are things you can't see. A crack that was so obvious, I noticed it within 30 seconds of walking in the house. It's kind of obvious. But these are people who could have blown everything up. If my sellers hadn't been so nice, they would have blown it up. My sellers were nice. Don't blow up the deal you have, okay? That's from the buy side and the sell side. Look at the numbers. Look at what you're getting. If you're getting a house and you see all your friends can't get a house, can you live with the stuff other than health, safety, and water damage, of course? On the sell side, if all this stuff costs, a few $100 to fix, I've seen people just like blow it up over that. Don't blow it up. Do your inspection. Make sure you're not buying a pig in a poke. Make sure it's not lipstick on a pig. And then when time comes, look at that inspection. Figure out if you really need these things done at that time. And if you're a seller, throw $1,000 at them. I'm serious. They'll just make the problem disappear for most people. But some people are so cheap. You know what? I'm gonna tell this story. I had a seller. We went back and forth, and it was almost gonna blow up on this one. And the seller's like, I'll fix all of these things myself. They came from wherever they were from, I ain't gonna mention it, and tried to fix all of these things. Did the cheapest fixes humanly possible. And then got to a point where it's like, I'm not doing anymore. Matter of fact, I had to end up paying for some of the repairs myself. Here's the thing. Could have easily been solved by giving a couple of bucks. So look at your bottom line and look at the next videos I have coming up for you, because I keep trying to drop this hot fire for you every single week. And if you look down and you see that subscribe button and it's red and not gray, go ahead and click it. Do me that favor if I have provided some value for you this week. And if you hit that comment button and that like button, you'll help a puppy.